Hello viewers, today is August 25th, 2025, and I would like to bring you the news of the Korea-US summit between President Trump and President Lee Jae-myung held at the White House in Washington, USA. In this summit, issues such as the North Korean nuclear problem and economic cooperation, particularly the US-Korea tariff negotiations, were addressed as major agendas. However, President Trump's unexpected agenda item, the issue of Japanese military comfort women, causing significant ripples both domestically and socially, it is viewed as a matter of women's rights, honor and dignity in the global community. At the summit, Trump assured Lee Jae-myung of a strong Korea-Japan relationship, addressing past comfort women issues, revealing the perception that it was a very significant problem for Korea. He continued by also mentioning the historical issue between Korea and Japan, the Japanese military comfort women problem. It is being stated that Korea's ongoing obsession with the Japanese military comfort women issue is increasingly becoming a significant stumbling block to the improvement of Korea-Japan relations. He conveyed Japan wants to advance Northeast Asia's peace, but Korea's focus on Japanese military comfort women hinders progress. President Trump also stated, "I believe that the Japanese military comfort women issue is..." For decades, it was believed that the issue had been resolved through several agreements and accords between Korea and Japan, including the 1965 Korea-Japan Claims Settlement Agreement. In 1995, the Asian Women's Fund was provided. In 2015, the Korea-Japan Agreement on Japanese military comfort women was mentioned. Under the Korea-Japan Agreement on June 22, 1965, Korea received $300 million in grants and $200 million in loans, along with $300 million in private commercial loans, totaling $800 million from Japan, confirming that the claims issue was completely and finally resolved. It included a clause stating this: after July 19, 1995, Japan, through the Asian Women's Fund, consolation payments of approx 55.2 million won, 5 million yen per person to Japanese comfort women via citizen donations. On December 28, 2015, in the Korea-Japan Agreement on Japanese military comfort women, the Korean and Japanese governments agreed that the issue was finally and Japan irreversibly resolved the issue, contributing about 10 billion yen, 10.8 billion won, to Korea's Reconciliation and Healing Foundation. Immediately after the unexpected remarks on the Japanese military comfort women issue, which were not part of President Trump's agenda, President Lee Jae-myung did not directly mention the issue, emphasizing that future-oriented relations, such as trilateral cooperation among Korea, the US, and Japan, and economic issues, are important. Deceptively responded to ease diplomatic tensions. Additionally, President Lee Jae-myung visited Japan first before meeting President Trump. In the meeting with Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the unresolved issue of Japanese comfort women, a point of contention between Korea and Japan, was not even mentioned. He explained that diplomacy with Japan through the National Interest-Centered Pragmatic Japan Policy Council aims to promote future-oriented Korea-Japan relations. At that time, he evaluated that various obstacles regarding the comfort women issue had been removed and emphasized efforts to improve Korea-Japan relations. He explained it deceptively as emphasizing efforts to improve Korea-Japan relations. However, President Trump's recent remarks have still left the relationship in conflict. They have reignited controversies surrounding perceptions of the Korea-Japan historical issues, specifically the comfort women issue. Especially, President Trump mentioned that because Korea still thinks about the Japanese comfort women, he had some difficulties in getting the two countries to come together, criticizing Korea and seemingly supporting Japan's position, stating that Korea had a very big problem, while Japan wants to move forward, and that Korea was very obsessed with that issue. As a result, the international community, especially both Korea and Japan, are reacting sensitively to President Trump's remarks. Some have evaluated President Lee Jae-myung's response as diplomatic flexibility. But on the other hand, because President Trump is dealing with events that happened a long time ago, you mentioned that it was difficult to bring Japan and Korea together. He made remarks that appeared to convey the Japanese side's claims in the Korea-Japan relationship. President Trump said that while Japan wants to do so, Korea is somewhat lukewarm, and that Japan wants to maintain very good relations with Korea and they are excellent citizens and excellent people. But President Lee Jae-myung is aware of both domestic and international opinion. In particular, in front of President Trump, there are claims that it was a national deception with a supplementary response. The future tasks are clear. President Lee Jae-myung has based the bilateral relations on the foundation accumulated since the normalization of diplomatic relations in 1965 between Korea and Japan. In a situation where the need for Korea-US-Japan cooperation is emphasized to develop the relations in a future-oriented and stable manner for the peace of Northeast Asia, addressing the historical issues concerning the Japanese military's use of comfort women is crucial, as it demonstrates a commitment to respecting their human rights and honor and dignity, while pursuing future cooperation through a balanced approach. With the advent of the global era, Korea-Japan relations have moved beyond dominant subjugation. Through relationships between developed and developing nations, Korea, Japan, and the United States have partnered as key players in international politics, discussing the East Asian region. Contributing to the world's stability and prosperity, the Korea-US summit goes beyond merely bilateral relations between the two countries. It is directly related to world peace and Northeast Asia's situation, involving historical issues and future cooperation on Japanese military comfort women. International society is focusing on what diplomatic solution will emerge. Now is the time to uncover the truth and end the distortion and concealment. It is time to end the manipulated and fabricated historical conflicts. Trump made a comment just before the US-Korea summit. Through social media, he captured the world's attention by attacking South Korea's current government's political situation. Looks like a purge or a revolution. He even added that it is impossible to do business in such a situation. This reflects the perception that the current administration is engrossed in a form of political retaliation and purge, rather than operating under normal democratic governance. The presidential office refrained from commenting, saying they need to verify, but from the citizens' perspective, it is embarrassing. If a US president from a liberal democratic country mentions the word revolution, doesn't it mean that the international community already views South Korean politics as unstable? A summit should be a place to discuss national interests. However, what this administration shows is not cooperation, but partisan interests. Nothing but purge politics aimed at maintaining power. Today's anchor comment: between the criticism of being trapped in the past and the praise for diplomatic flexibility, the Korean people seek only one thing: a clear answer and accountability regarding the issue of Japan's wartime military sexual slavery.